Biden administration offers convicted Russian arms dealer in exchange for Griner. Whelan. The top U.S. diplomat said he intended to discuss Demeter on an expected call with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov this week, his first conversation with his counterpart since the war in Ukraine began, telling reporters, "My hope will be that in speaking to Foreign Minister Lavrov, I can advance the efforts to bring them home. There is an immense utility in conveying clear, direct messages to Russians on key priorities for us. And as I mentioned, these include securing the return home of Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan," he said. A senior administration official suggested Moscow has not been responsive to the substantial offer first presented in June, telling CNN it takes two to tango. "We start all negotiations to bring home American shelled hostage or wrongfully detained with a bad actor on the other side. We start all of these with somebody who has taken a human being American and treated them as a bargaining chip," the official said. So in some ways, it's not surprising, even if it's disheartening, when the Sesame actors didn't necessarily respond directly to offers, don't engage constructively in negotiations. Administration continues to communicate offer. The official declined to comment on the specifics of the substantial offer. They said it was in Russia's court to be responsive to it, yet at the same time that does not leave us passive, as continue to communicate at very senior levels. The families of Whelan, who is being held by Russia for alleged espionage since 2018, and WNBA star Griner, jailed in Moscow for drug possession since February, have urged White House to secure their release, including via a prisoner exchange if necessary. National Security Council Strategic Coordinator for Communications John Kirby said Wednesday that a senior administration official spoke with the families prior to Blinken's announcement about substantial proposal. Biden recently spoke with Griner's wife, Cheryl, and Whelan's sister, Elizabeth. Griner, pleaded guilty in early July, but said she intentionally brought cannabis into Russia, testified in a Russian courtroom Wednesday as part of her ongoing trial on drug charges, for which she faces up to 10 years in prison. It is understood that her trial will have to conclude prior to a deal being finalized, according to U.S. officials familiar with Russian judicial process on the inner workings of U.S.-Russia negotiations. During months of internal discussions between U.S. agencies, the Justice Department opposed trading Bout, people briefed on the matter say. However, Justice officials eventually accept that about trade has the support of top officials at the State Department and White House, including Biden himself, sources say. The U.S. government has long resisted prisoner swaps, claiming concerns that they only incentivize countries to detain Americans so they can be used as bargaining chips. Advocate Shiva questioned these concerns and have argued that it is more important that Americans are able to come home. Among senior Biden administration officials, the idea of prisoner swaps gained momentum earlier this year after the successful release of Trevor Reed, a former Marine who was held captive in Russia for more than 2 years. Reed was traded for Konstantin Yaroshenko, a Russian pilot then serving a 20-year federal prison sentence for cocaine smuggling conspiracy. Biden officials had been concerned that the decision to swap Reed for Yaroshenko would be criticized by Republicans. Instead, it won bipartisan praise, including from a handful of Republicans who are normally sharp critics of the administration. That reception, sources say, led the administration to re-examine all options, including potentials to get Whelan and Griner out of Russia. What of the kind of moral indignity of them holding innocent people and trying to extract from us someone like a Mr. Yaroshenko, who is the opposite of that, when unethless arrest committed to bring people home if they will make those painful choices in certain circumstances, the senior administration official told CNN. Securing their release would also give the White House a much-needed political win ahead of the midterm elections in November, a point that some officials quietly acknowledged when speaking privately to CNN. There is also a sense of urgency to bring 2 detainees home as the White House faces growing public scrutiny from the families of Americans unlawfully detained abroad.